After so long, natural disaster survival is finally starting to show its age. Hey people, after all this absurdity happening every month, I decided I've had enough! So I decided to go on a vacation Hawaii. Luckily for me, the tickets were really cheap at this time for some reason, so I decided it'd be a perfect time to go. So now I can finally sit back, relax, and talk about a completely random game that has no correlation with today's shenanigans. Big natural disaster survival. You know, I think this just may be it. Everything's gonna be just fine. Birdie and Educated. Natural disaster survival is a Roblox game created all the way back in 2011 by Stickmaster Luke. In this game, you, well, survive disasters, naturally. You're on this ever-changing island, and your objective is to survive, as there'll be a fair bit of unfortunate circumstances happening to you. These chronic circumstances are the disasters, all being based off of real-world events. These are 13 events, being thunderstorm, fire, tornado, blizzard, sandstorm, fires, which came out in 2021, how ironic, volcano, meteor shower, acid rain, flood, tsunami, avalanche, and earthquake. These disasters are all unique in their own special ways, so you gotta strategize and learn how to beat them. If you don't think that's enough disasters, you can also just use the weather machine for Roblox to have more than one disaster appear on the island if you really hate this place and all of its inhabitants. Or you just want a challenge. So have fun surviving these natural disasters, and maybe also surviving some more unnatural disasters, but we'll get into that a bit later. Well, apparently some tsunami thought it was really cool to sneak up on me when I wasn't looking, and now we seem to be floating in the middle of the ocean with no land in sight. And you know what? This kind of stinks. This is the third time this week that I've been stranded in the middle of the ocean, and it's starting to get a bit repetitive.
When did you have time to do that? You were in the corner playing Donkey Kong the entire week.
I tried to go shopping, but I got lost. This shtick is getting repetitive. It's just like natural disaster survival. It needs more variety and a bit of an update. Maybe a lamp would be nice. Honestly, natural disaster survival needs some type of an update. The game has been just about the same for over 10 years now, and I feel like the game is overdue for a bit of a tune-up. On one hand, it's great to see a game that has stayed the same since you were a kid, but on the other hand, this game feels really outdated when you compare it to the other survival games similar to it. Most of the maps feel boring and outdated, as they mostly consist of boxes to sit in and wait for your impending doom. Some of the maps, like Raving Raceway, don't even work properly, as the racetrack doesn't even work, which means you can't even race. Generally, it used to be called Raving Way now, goodness. Some of the maps don't even have functional chairs. These certain maps really bring the game down, so they have nothing interesting happening in them, and the only fun part happens when disasters hit, which is also an entirely different issue, as most of these disasters are also fairly outdated. Some disasters like Blizzard and Sandstorm turn a survival game into a waiting game, as the strategy is to simply stand still, and in 2025, you can't do that for more than 5 seconds before people get bored. I feel like what these maps and disasters need is a little bit of a remake to make them feel more interesting, and I know that Stickmaster Luke has it in to make fun maps and disasters. There's some maps like Prison Panic and Party Palace, which are incredibly fun to explore and see what the areas have to offer. And some disasters like tsunami and meteor shower are fun to go against, as they have a sense of destruction and randomness attached to them to keep you on your toes. There's even some disasters that are so good that there's completely different games just based off surviving that one specific disaster. You don't really even have to do much in this game to keep it interesting. Just doing something simple like bringing back Double Disaster could help this game feel at least a little bit less repetitive. Despite all of this, I really don't see this happening, as this game never gets touched, as in the past 5 years we've only gotten 4 maps and 2 disasters. I really hope this game gets more frequent updates, as this game needs something to keep it interesting after 10 years. So does anybody have anything you can use to paddle the shore with? I'm getting bored out here. I'm starting to run out of things to complain about natural disaster survival. I feel like I'm missing something, and this time it's not a nose. That's it! This game's physics are outdated and you can flunk at any moment, sometimes by hackers. Thanks, Carl.
No problem.
Some could say I'm flinging things out of proportion, but this game's starting to fling me off the map. Due to how old this game is and how often it goes untouched, this game is very buggy. Things, including you, will be randomly flung into whatever direction if anything touches it, and it's starting to become a big issue. Don't get me wrong, the physics being a bit janky played a fair bit of fun in this game since its creation, but things are starting to get a bit out of hand, and some people are starting to abuse it. The maps now for some reason vibrate sometimes, leading you to randomly die if you touch something. You can also get flung when a player touches you, and in the game where you take fall damage and players are incentivized to huddle around each other, this ain't good. Just simply walking into a player can cause you to lose a round and get sent back to the lobby, which really has nothing to do in it. There isn't even a spectator mode, but that's another issue. Disasters are also incredibly buggy, as certain disasters like earthquake and flood can make the map just randomly decide to stop existing, which can make some rounds impossible to win on. And if you think this is bad, just wait until you hear about the unnatural disaster that happens in just about every server. Hackers. This game is abundant with hackers. These people can range from simply role-playing as a Beyblade to bending reality to their own will. These people make the game almost impossible, as they're so frequent that it's hard harder to find a server without hackers than there is with hackers. Generally, while recording, I've had to leave multiple servers to actually find one without hackers to get the authentic natural disaster survival experience. These quote-unquote people run rampant in this game, as the creator really needs to put some type of system in to prevent these people from ruining the game for others.
This is terrible. We've been stranded for hours now. We have no food, no water, and my calculator is dead. And if we don't get to land soon, there's a 97.3% chance that I will go insane.
Don't be like that. Just think about the positives. We may be stranded with no land in sight, but hey, at least natural disaster survival has no boring grind attached to it.
How is that supposed to happen?
I know I've been very hard on this game, but I want you to know that I still believe that this game isn't bad. Natural Disaster Survival is a cult classic Roblox game for a reason. For Pete's sake, even my dad's played it. This game has a very simple charm to it, and it's really easy to hop in and play, even if you don't know anything about Roblox. This game is also great to play for a few quick rounds, or to have a casual game to play while you're talking with friends. Even if the gameplay is surviving disasters and destroy everything they touch, this game is very laid back and good to play to make you feel less stressed. And let's not forget about Launch Land, one of the best things on the entire Roblox platform. I can make an entire video explaining how this map is a cinematic masterpiece in every way possible, but that may be for another day. I do think this game is worth playing, but in its current state, I feel like there are better alternatives out there. If you want to play a game where you have to rely on your own wits to survive something, I'd recommend Super Bomb Survival or Something Evil Happened. Both those games kind of do what Natural Disaster Survival does, but in my opinion better. But they don't have launch lands, so take that with a grain of salt. If Natural Disaster Survival just got more consistent updates and simply put in some type of anti-cheat, this game could still be known as one of the best games to introduce people to Roblox. But in this state it's in right now, it needs some improvements.
Well, it's awfully convenient that we somehow made it right beside our headquarters instead of anywhere else in the world.
I know, right? Anyways, that's just about it. As I head back into headquarters, I want you to remember that you are loved. Finally, we went through an entire 7-minute episode of our lives without having some major inconvenience happen. Now let's get back in here and... Oh, I forgot my keys in Hawaii. No!